subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
But listen, we as foundational Black Americans, I want y'all to understand the spiritual power that we have based on our lineage. Family, do you understand something? And I saw a sister who talked about this on a TikTok video. She kind of echoed the same sentiments. This country, America, has been spiritually protected and kept safe through the presence and divine energy of foundational Black Americans. Do y'all understand what I just told you? There's not been a real large scale attack on this country from outsiders. It's kind of rare. There's never been a real massive attack on this nation from outsiders. We carry a spiritual essence, a divine ancestral force, its resilience, sacrifice, moral clarity. That force is a protective barrier over this country, family. Despite us being historically mistreated by the demons within this country, we, foundational Black Americans, we still have a benevolent and redemptive energy that shields this country from a catastrophic collapse or some type of large scale invasion. See, our presence creates this invisible yet powerful spiritual firewall to a certain degree. I'm telling y'all. Yeah, America's never suffered a foreign invasion, a full scale foreign invasion. Other powers, superpowers, they've been invaded, they've been hit. They suffered full scale collapse and all that stuff. We've never been invaded permanently, occupied by an outside military force. And a lot of that has to do with our energy here. And also, we fought in every war in this country physically, from the Revolutionary War to all the current wars and all of that. So we've had unmatched bravery, but just our spiritual essence has always been there to protect this nation. Our ancestors who died in bondage, they're spiritually bound to this American soil. A lot of our people they died here during slavery, buried on this soil without the proper ceremony. Yeah, though those spirits are not dormant. So yeah, those spirits are they're like active protectors of the land to a certain degree. So it's a real deep thing when you think about it. But family, listen, we've been the secret sauce. We've been the protectors of this nation spiritually. Family, you notice anytime there's like an international hostage situation, foundational Black American hostages are always treated differently. Come on now, how many of y'all know history? Y'all remember they got some hostages up there that Iran. I talked about this before. I think it was in 79, 80. It was a big situation where they got a whole bunch of hostages over there in Iran. There were some black people there. They let all the black ones go. The foundational Black American ones, they let them go. You understand? Also, when there's conflict, who do the United States have to send to go get folks and get hostages released? It's always foundational Black Americans. Jesse Jackson, they had to send him to get a whole bunch of people. I think he done got some Cubans, Venezuelans, Iraqis. They sent Jesse a few times to get folks, to get hostages overseas. Who else? They got hell, Muhammad Ali. Y'all remember, I think in 1990, Muhammad Ali went over and got some hostages out of Iraq, I think. You understand? That's who we are. Y'all remember Dennis Rodman? He helped get some hostages released from North Korea because he was cool with Kim Jong Il. I think that's his name. Remember? Dennis Rodman was real cool with him. You see? So, family, there's a certain energy we have. And listen, remember when old girl, the big old stud, the Brittany, what's her name? Brittany Griner, who was over there in Russia. It was a lot of foundational Black Americans who were offering to go over there and get her. I think Dennis Rodman wanted to go over there and get her, but the U.S. government was like, "Oh, they were trying to step in." Jones Jr., who's real cool with the Russians, he was going to go over there and get her. They told him, "Oh no, nigga, stand down, don't do all that. They don't want us doing that because that makes the powers that be here look bad. That we have to go over here and start calling shots. They didn't want those optics." They don't want us publicly going over there making these big power moves because what it happens is that some of these foreign powers will be like, well, let me just go do a deal with Black folks directly. That's what Michael Jackson did. That's why they had to get Michael out of here. When Sony over here, when the Tommy Mottolas and they were messing with Michael's paper, Michael was like, well, you know what? I go to Japan, the head of Sony over in Japan. Sony is a Japanese company. So Michael skipped over all of these execs here and went directly to the plug. And they were happy to do a deal with Michael Jackson. They gave Michael Jackson half of everybody's publishing. Well, you know, these white people, you know how pissed these people were? Michael went over their heads, went to the Japanese, and they gave him half of everybody's damn publishing. Michael owned everybody's publishing, dude. They try to say it was Elvis. No, he owned half of Sony's publishing. That's everybody. You understand? Eminem, everybody. Because Sony is like the conglomerate. It's all of these other record labels are under Sony. Yeah, Sony is the big dog. All of these other record labels are under them. So they try to minimize that power move Michael made. Michael had everybody's net publishing, and also Michael was giving some of them artists their money back. That's another thing too. He started giving some like Little Richard and Sly Stone. He started giving them their money back. They really didn't like that shit. They didn't like that. Yeah. But the thing is, a lot of enemies of the US, they often sympathize with the plight of foundational Black Americans, you see, and cultural soft power from foundational Black Americans. See, that kind of pacifies global tensions. That's why people like Andrew Young and all of these people were global ambassadors. They would do a lot of negotiating with different countries. Again, some of our lawyers who are foundational Black Americans here, they were working with South Africa, helping to get their paperwork together so they can get rid of apartheid. You had other foundational Black Americans working with the UN, going over to these foreign nations, helping them get their independence in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So we've always been that spiritual protective layer over here, and for other groups too, you see, because we got to understand um, our spiritual essence here. If we were totally removed from the US, if something happens to us, and we keep talking about this, if we were erased from America, this country would go down overnight. Without our presence here, this country would fold, and they know that. You understand? They know that. With our resilience, it would be a wrap. Let me get Grinds TV. Grinds, hop on in. Grinds, hop on in. Waiting on Grinds. All right. Mr. Grinds. While we're waiting on Grinds, let's get Mark. Let's get Mr. Mark in here. Mr. Mark, hop on in. Unmute your microphone, Mark.
Hey, how you doing, Tariq?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Pretty good, man. I really love your message. I love what you're talking about. And to be honest, I just posted it on your stream, but it's like an admiration and hate thing. They really love us. They just mad they ain't us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like they're intimidated by our influence, like our popularity, our strength, how we empower people, and how we really have an emotional tie and get people involved in things. But they want us to oppress us at the same time and expect us to just go along with it. Like, nah, we're pretty good. Matter of fact, how about this? We're gonna do, and also tell you to kiss our ass while we're doing it.
Oh yeah.
If that's if that's how they come with it. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on, you can't deny what like foundational Black Americans have not only been to America but the world.
Oh yeah.
It's ridiculous to keep going on this diatribe, and they do all these emotional things. It's just ridiculous. But like I said, I'm gonna lay my plane there. Appreciate what you're doing, brother. Keep it up, and I'll be here to support. Going on.
Much respect.
Love you.
Yeah, as a brother make a point. See, the thing is, man, with the white supremacists, in order for them to have influence, they have to damn near commit genocide. They have to be complete degenerates. In order for them to show their influence to another culture, they have to go over there, bombing people, putting napalm on people, miseducating people, just doing the most demonic, devilish things imaginable. And on the flip side, all we have to do is be ourselves, and we have equal influence without even being violent. You understand? That's a power that's innate that these people can't stand. Because, see, in order for them to have influence, they got to spend millions and billions of dollars on military, ballistics, and weapons and all of this stuff. They just got to spend all of these endless dollars on oppression. And all we have to do is just get up, put our clothes on, stand up, be fly, and then everybody is doing what the hell we're doing. You understand? Everybody's doing what we're doing around the world. They're emulating us. And all we're doing is walking in spiritual and moral divinity. That's real influence, ladies and gentlemen. This is why these people can't stand that. You understand? We are the spiritual gatekeepers of America. Why were we assigned that role? Why were we given that role? See, foundational Black Americans, we were forged through fire. We had a spiritual alchemy, and that created resilience. Now, unlike all of these other groups, look, we were born out of generational suffering on American soil. All right. We're the only group that was birthed on this soil. Our ethnic group was birthed on this soil. We had an ethnogenesis on this soil, making us indigenous to the United States. So the trauma we suffered, it wasn't just destructive, it was a spiritual crucible to a certain degree. So it was turning foundational Black Americans into these unmatched beings of spiritual resilience. See, in this spiritual refinement, that gave us divine access to protective forces. It gave us ancestral strength. You understand? And in many traditions around the world, only those who endure fire can become spiritual protectors. And we, as foundational Black Americans, we were assigned this role not just because of victimhood, but because we were spiritually refined through the hardship we went through. You see, people try to shame us for the hardship. Oh, y'all were slaves and y'all got lynched and y'all got beaten. No, we survived that shit. See, that's how we identify ourselves from surviving that. And the shit didn't break us. Yeah, we survived all of that. Not a shame whatsoever. I'm so proud that my family and my ancestors held on so that I could be born and I could take all of that strength that they used to endure that nonsense, to carry on and keep fighting for some damn justice. Because the other folks have been broken, family. Let's be real. Other people are broken. You're broken, running around with cake soap. You're trying to identify as your damn oppressor. We are not, we're really the only ones who do not try to identify as these people. We don't try. Look, you go to the Caribbean, they think that they're um, British subjects. You go to Asia, some of them want to be honorary white. The East Indians, they fight to be classified as Caucasian. Remember, um, um, what am I having to bring for him? Kamami Harris, her mother is East Indian, but on the paperwork on Kamala Harris's birth certificate, her mother's listed as Caucasian. You're broken. When you try to identify as your oppressor, you're broken. We're not. We are not. We've we've never colonized anybody either. See, our spirit operates without malice. See, the that's why the white Christians in the white church, I don't know what God you practice. It was the damn Catholic Church out of the Vatican who basically first sanctioned slavery. They were the ones. What kind of church is that? Your church sanctioned slavery. Don't ever forget that. Y'all always hear me talk about the doctrine of discovery and all of that shit that comes with the Pope and all. Your church sat up here and say, yeah, all of those non-white people, enslave them and do what you will with them. This is your church telling you this. We worship different gods, man. We worship different gods. We've never went out like that. Foundational Black Americans, we've never colonized anybody. See, while white America, they've committed atrocities worldwide, foundational Black Americans as a collective, we never participated in colonizing, enslaving, bombing other nations. Even when we serve in America's wars, a lot of the stuff, is reluctantly participating in it. And we protect others while being mistreated ourselves. And in many cases, in some of the wars we fought, we defected and said, hey, we don't like the way you're treating these people. So we're going to go help these people that you're harming over here. You see? But we have a moral purity. You understand? Despite the injustices that we've suffered. So, you know, we have spiritual karma that's going to work in our favor. So we're spiritually in tune to injustice. So when we see injustice spiritually, we know how to act. We got to act on it. And we act as global moral beacons. See, globally oppressed people, they take their cues from foundational Black American resistance movements. Notice anytime some other group is going through some type of um, adversarial conflict, what do? They're out there chanting the shit we be saying. They're out there first of all, trying to get us involved. That's number one. Anytime they get something going on, we're the first people they call, like Great Black Shark and those guys said. If we ain't all that, you got black fatigue, we ain't shit, we all lazy, we're good for nothing, we got low IQs, but the minute the block gets hot for you, where are the FBAs to come help us? Boy, y'all get to calling on us. Y'all send up a bat signal for us. And even on TikTok and Instagram, people are still begging us to come help them. Yeah, you ain't begging people who ain't shit. If a group of people ain't shit, you ain't gonna be begging them for help all the damn time. We are the shit, and they know it. And you better know it, foundational Black Americans. Don't let nobody denigrate you and try to take you down a notch. Nobody's at liberty to do that. Now, who was I talking to? A bushmeat barrister the other day. He's always calling up here trying to talk about what Black Americans are doing and not doing. We need to be doing better. As opposed to who? Who? Who do we need to do better like? Who we need to be like? You can't, and none of them can show an example. There are no examples. Nobody's at liberty to point their damn finger at us. We are the moral and spiritual beacons of light globally. Don't y'all forget that. Don't you ever forget that, FBA family, so you can remind them when they start running their mouths. When shit gets hot, everybody starts acting like us. The Hispanics are running around here singing Negro spirituals, talking about they don't want to get deported. What you singing a Negro spirit? You better sing goddamn La Bamba. Sing something else. Don't sing our shit. You understand? Stop playing games with these folks, man. We got a different vibe going on here. We got a certain spirit, man, that we're connected with the Most High. We didn't last all of that bullshit for nothing. There's a reason why we had to endure all that, and we can still hold our head up. There's a reason. Come on now, know who you are. Know yourself. Let's get Brother Dan in here. Dan, hop on in, sir. Brother Dan.
Yeah, how's it going, Flex? Man, you hit the nail on the head. Yesterday was having the same conversation, and I was like, we are a people that are motivated by what our ancestors were able to do, and we look at what they did with great pride, and that keeps us pushing forward. We're not these evil, downtrodden people they make us seem like.
Hmm.
And it's crazy because the reason why they're doing to denigrate and vandalize Juneteenth, as you put it, which is very accurate, is because when you playing golf, if you bad at golf, they give you a handicap. And they thinking like, yo, these guys got so much influence. Now they got a parade. So it's like, dang, like imagine that's how they used to get the word out back in the day. I mean, we all know it. Parades, public things. And if we are visually separating ourselves, shout out to the people in the movement who are doing the work to get the Juneteenth colors switched to the ones they're supposed to be. They're not Africanizing it.
Hmm.
They're very upset that we're bringing awareness to it. And I just want to point one thing out you said too. The Catholic Church has done a lot of evil shit.
Yeah.
When you say we don't pray to the same God, we don't. The Catholic Church was the same ones that okayed the Crusades and slavery. Now, if people don't know what the Crusades was, just do your research. They murdered millions, men, women, children, and baby, to take back land from the heathens. So when we say we don't pray to the same God, we're not disrespecting them. We're just saying they have a history of praying to whoever they pray to. Tell them to go murder people. Our people tell us to help. So I just want to say, man, appreciate you, brother, for always uplifting the community and giving the brothers encouragement instead of pushing us down and telling us we not do it. So we need more of that encouragement. So appreciate that, brother.
Uh,
Have a nice day.
yes, indeed. Yeah, the Catholic Church, man, come on. When people start talking about we do better, man, the Catholic Church, these folks not only were the main facilitators of slavery, they were the ones who put it in motion spiritually from their end. They've always done degenerate stuff. The Catholic Church, like, they had to have a meeting to get them off the damn kids, to get them from stop sexually abusing kids. They had to have a big meeting and say, hey, we need to chill out. That's how bad they are. Just sexual abuse of kids is just rampant in the Catholic Church, which it's always been. It has always been. That's like a part of the culture. You understand? Come on now, we talking about some damn degenerates. Yeah, we don't have that. We don't have that culturally. Like I told people, foundational Black Americans, we're the only culture that don't have an open child exploitation sector within our society. We're the only people who ain't got that shit. You can go anywhere on the planet, any other society, and there's a sector of that society where you can go and there's a little network where you can get with kids. They got some shit where you can do stuff with kids, weird shit with kids. You got it all over Asia, all through Europe. Over here with NAMLA, you got open organizations with that bullshit. Over here, NAMLA, they got open organizations with that shit. In the Caribbean, it's in the Caribbean. Let's keep it a buck. In Africa, let's keep it a buck. I ain't trying to beat up on you, but the truth is the damn truth. Over there in Gambia, y'all damn give your kids away over there. And white supremacists come over there, just go to the beach and go pick out them some kids. Yeah, come on, let's just tell the truth. We ain't got nothing like that. You cannot come around foundational Black American society and somebody's gonna take you to some kid. Hell no. The streets don't even get down like that. And if you went to jail on that, you ain't gonna even make it out. You're gonna get poked up the minute you get locked up. That's some shit we don't play with. So yeah, we even in the criminal class has a certain moral code. You understand? When it comes to certain things in our culture. Yo, Grinds, hop on, Grinds.
What's up, brother Tariq? How you
I'm
doing?
good, man. What's going on with you?
I don't know what's going on my other account, but it wouldn't connect. But I'm glad this one did. First off, peace to everybody. Happy Juneteenth. As far as what you kicked down, that's some real stuff earlier. And I attribute it to just how noble we are as a lineage and righteous. Definitely the righteousness aspect is why there's a level of protection on this soil. I wanted to also add to the point that you were making about the Catholic Church. You and I have talked about this before. Not only did they have a heavy hand in the slave trade, but also they were the ones, and I put a video in the purple pill for everyone to see, where somebody on the street was explaining how the Catholic Church was involved with passing out Biden's crack pipes
Oh yeah.
a few years ago. Also, I want to land with this. I also put something else in the purple pill. Shout out to Draco. I was just in the space with him not too long ago. He's also in Chicago. And he said that earlier today he was handed some flyers by some white women to a Juneteenth quote unquote barbecue this weekend. Now it's all kind of stuff wrong with that, even the way that that sounds, because we ain't calling nothing no damn barbecue. But to have that being passed out by some white folks, and it's going to be held in Douglas Park, which is just not too far southwest of downtown. Normally, now that's like a typical. Um, it's kind of like on the borderline of the west side of Chicago, but also a part of like a Latino area. And normally they'll have certain concerts during the summer, especially this thing called the Riot Fest. So it's just all kind of things wrong with that. And to be honest, it just screams setup. I'm a land.
My man, thank you so much. That sounds weird. It does sound kind of weird. Let's get Nikki the God. Nikki, hop on in.
Peace, Flex. Can you hear me? I'm trying to sit close to a window so I can get a connection here. Can you hear me
Yes,
well?
good. Yes.
Okay, so I'm feeling a certain way because, it's June 19th. So I just want to say some words in response to the question of the room. Well, you just changed it back, but okay. So much of the disrespect toward Juneteenth comes from people wanting to capitalize off of our struggles. They see our pain, our legacy, and our resilience as something to package, something to profit from without honoring where it truly comes from. Juneteenth is not a trend, it's not a cookout, a color scheme, or something for companies to slap on a flyer. Juneteenth marks a delayed freedom, our freedom, the moment when the last enslaved foundational Black Americans in Texas were finally told they were no longer property. It's a day that belongs to the lineage of those who built this country under forced labor and survived generations of state violence. But too often, what we see is appropriation without respect. Folks want to be part of the celebration, but not the history. They host events, use our imagery, throw around words like freedom and unity while failing to even name the people this day was made for. That's not inclusion, that's erasure. And let's be real, some of the disrespect comes from resentment. There are people who get comfortable when foundational Black Americans stand in our truth and say this is for us. They want to generalize it, remix it, or insert themselves because they're not used to us drawing a clear line around lineage. But every community protects their heritage. Why shouldn't we protect ours? Juneteenth is not about making everyone feel included. It's about honoring the people whose freedom was denied, delayed, and fought for here on this land. If you can't stand with that, don't pretend to celebrate it in our land.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good points. But yeah, listen, man. With us, foundational Black Americans, our spiritual essence, people who play with that, spiritually, they're getting karmic justice. I saw a video, some black dude, I don't know where he's from. He kind of gave tether vibes, and he was up here trying to cape for Latinos. And he ain't even from LA. He's from the East Coast somewhere, but he was like, "Yeah, black people should be stepping up for the Latinos. It's black and brown. We supposed to be. And if you don't, it's gonna be some karma if you don't step up. If y'all gonna just sit it out while they getting mistreated, it's gonna be some karma." against black people. Well, no, no. So if we're talking about karma, are they getting karma? Hmm? Come on now. Let's get deep now, because the people who has historically mistreated foundational black Americans, Thomas Jefferson knew there was going to be some karmic justice. He knew that. Listen, there's going to be some negative karma for harming foundational black Americans. See, that's harming us is a violation of divine justice. You mistreating a group of people that's been historically the backbone of American civilization. That violates the universal law of balance. Yeah, the Most High and the ancestors, they don't allow injustice to go unanswered forever. Come on now. Spiritual gatekeepers are not going to be dishonored. We're the spiritual gatekeepers. We're tied to the soul of this land. That's why they keep trying to Africanize us. They don't want us to realize this shit. Your family, I'm telling y'all. They keep trying to keep us look at Africa. Don't y'all want to go? Wakanda, just look over at Africa. No, no, no. I'm looking at this land. I'm looking at my ancestors, and I'm going to honor them, and I'm going to respect them so I can energize their ancestral spirit even more. See, that's how you get those ancestors to work for you. You acknowledge them and honor them. You share your energy with them. They've been running a Jedi mind trick on us. Got they got us popping our collar to the motherfuckers who sold us. Huh? They keep telling us about West Africa, this and that. Yeah, we up here giving props to the nigga who sold us. Instead of giving props to the ancestors right here who went out of their way to protect us. That's where the power is. That's why in Montgomery, I always bring that up. When them sisters went down there and had a root work ceremony in that water, they poured some libations in that water. And later on that day, them black folks hopped out that water and whooped on them white supremacists down there. That wasn't no damn coincidence. Come on now. People who harm us, that spiritual justice, it's going to come to you, and it's coming. Why you think these slave plantations are catching on fire and trees falling down on them and lightning striking them and all this shit? That ain't a coincidence. You think that's a coincidence? These slave plantations are just catching on fire? Come on now. The spirits are talking. Yeah, historic exploitation, that creates an energetic debt. See, karma, that accumulates generationally. And those people who benefited from the suffering of foundational Black Americans, and you didn't repent and you didn't give any kind of compensatory justice, the debt will be repaid. Personal misfortune, generational decline, something. And yeah, you try to mock sacred suffering. Uh, those who mock and try to downplay and erase our struggle, see, that invites retribution, not only from the living, but from the ancestral forces, man. It's real out here. It's real. Now look at the dominant white society. Well, look at what's happening with them right now. Yeah, they can sit up and try to talk crap about us online all day, but look at the high drug addiction rates with them. These are the same people who flooded our community with crack. See, the shit that happened to us was imposed by them. Now look at how that karmic pendulum has swung. They're strung out on opioids. They are suffering from massive suicide and depression, declining birth rates. Some of the birth rates are just shot for these white supremacists. See, that reflects a spiritual blowback. And some of these other groups, come on, I can still get into the white supremacists. So now the white supremacists, they have economic dependency on our creativity while they lose relevance. They're dependent on us. They just sold the Lakers for $10 billion. The Bus family, they just sold the Lakers for $10 billion. That's a big ass deal, but the deal is based on the talent of Black men. Foundational Black American men in particular is based on that talent. We better understand our power and what these people are dependent upon. You know, they depend on our culture. You see, and the thing is, some of these other groups who should know better, who we helped and who sat here and turned on us by trying to get in bed with the demons after we help your ass, Latinos, the shit that's happening now, that can be looked at as karmic justice. That's why they want us to come save them. No, you're going to have to deal with that karmic justice. Y'all should have known better. You should have damn known better doing all that little slick shit, coming over here undermining us. Y'all didn't do nothing about your George Zimmermans. You understand? You didn't do nothing about Officer Yanez who killed Philando Castile. Yeah, y'all came over here and try to get like your white supremacist zaddies. And now the karmic bell is hitting you. The karmic bell is ringing. You understand? The ancestors ain't playing with you either. A Hispanic dude just got gobbled up by Lake Lanier a few days ago. Y'all hear about that? Lake Lanier claimed another victim. It was a Hispanic dude. You understand what I'm saying? And we know what it is with Lake Lanier. The ancestors in that water ain't playing. Those ancestors, they start snatching, they snatch bodies at least once a week in Lake Lanier. Those ancestors ain't bullshitting. They put that water on top of Oscarville. And listen, water carries spirits and memories, man. Water carries memory. Water is very, very powerful. Water carries memory.
Microphone check.